It always comes to this. Guys, back again to do another tattoo progress update. Where I last left off, I had no doubt just showed off my white highlights in my face, the white lines. Again, not done yet. There's going to be a round 2 and potentially a round 3 with that to get everything looking the way I want it. It's obviously mirrored on both sides. And I had showed off my palm tattoo that is still healing. It's 2 weeks and it's not done yet. Funny enough, I've had 3 sessions. No, 3 sessions since the palm tattoo. And it'll be the last one of them to be healed. Yeah, I just had a session with Terry last week on my face. That's already done. And I had 2 sessions with Rick so far since then. And the one I'm about to show off here is just about ready to start flaking. I can already tell by the look of it and the feel of it. I had the eye reworked again. So I'll go ahead and show off. So now it's the colorful epicenter that it once was and that it needed to be again. I've been making some jokes, talking a little bit of smack about the fact that the color in the eyes on my suit that I've added over black are as bright as the eye. And they still are, like color to color. They're pretty bright, right? All this is pretty bright, but now this is the center point. The eye was always supposed to be that. So people who followed me for a long time, and I'll put some pictures in here showing it, but this eye was actually very similar to this color to begin with, except the guy who did it couldn't saturate color to save his life. And I will talk smack about him. Anyone who's watched my Why I Blacked Out videos, the 3 of them, will know that the guy who worked on my original torso, like the tentacles and the eye, he was basically like budget Rick. He was basically like, he had the same kind of artistic prowess, like he could draw and paint and all that and talk a good game, but he couldn't execute. He couldn't saturate to save his ass. He couldn't line things to save his ass. So a lot of the tentacles that I had on my first suit were not properly lined. Even before when I had negative space, he couldn't get those lines to connect and be solid. They just weren't in. The shading was half in there, all that stuff. Anyway, he did the color in the eye originally in these tones, but they were never this bright. They were never this solid because he couldn't saturate. So basically I had this wishy-washy color that was like this color palette. But and then again, this eye was, instead of having this grid that I added in here middle of last year, and then I've done 3 times, the black and the white, to get it really polarized, really contrasted. It was a keyhole. The keyhole was actually there before the eye, but it was designed for the eye to fit around it. And the keyhole obviously went to the chest piece. So when I got rid of the keyhole, this chest piece didn't really make the same sense it always used to. So really, this chest piece was kind of on borrowed time ever since I got rid of that, if you ask me. Even though it didn't look really out of place, like thematically, it didn't make sense to keep it anymore after that piece was gone. So this chest piece has been needing to be addressed for a long time, and various other things like the door knockers and stuff that made this piece make more sense. Those were all going, and the chest piece was just the last thing I was partial to. But anyway, yeah, we used every friggin' color under the sun. There's pink, there's 2 different shades of orange, there's red, there's a little bit of purple, there's pink, and there's yellow, and more black. He basically went around a ring with black, a ring with purple, a ring with pink, a ring with red, a ring of orange, a ring of another shade of orange, and a ring of a yellow, and just kind of repeatedly went back and forth over it. We also sharpened up some of the teeth again, though I don't know that it made a difference. Just the ones in the front, they have white highlights in them again and bone white. Those teeth have been done about 6 times now. They're very, very scarred, so the minute he touched them, they were bleeding immediately. Yeah. Anyway, it's funny to me that this eye has had 6 or 7 different looks, and now it's kind of at the point where it's meeting old and new. So in other words, it's the colors that it was supposed to be originally, if they had have worked out, if the guy who was doing it could have saturated properly. Full shade intended. Anyway, it's that color again, but instead of having the keyhole, it has the grid, the fly eye pattern. More on that in a minute. At first I wasn't sure if I loved it because it did match better, like color-wise. Like now it's more of an orange red, where all of the rest of the red is, you know, this same red that the eye was kind of at. And I had the eye, I've changed the color in it, I think 4 or 5 times. Anyway, I would be more concerned with that, but I'm headed in a direction where it's going to be mostly full color. So even here we see all these different colors. And I want to say right now, for anyone who's paid close attention to the shape of this eye, we changed the shape again and the color's been whipped out farther. So a lot of this color, a lot of the orange, yellow, red, pink, purple that we did, that all this color blending, he whipped out straight over the black. So a lot of this is color over black, and there's no difference in the color. So basically what I'm getting at here is whether he was covering the red or the black with color, it all looks the same. So there's no rules anymore, I guess. It just doesn't matter. We just do whatever the hell we want. Like the color looks the same over the black as it does everywhere else. So there are no rules anymore. We just do whatever the fuck we want. There's color over everything. Any color you want. Whatever color you want. You can do green and red and pink and white and silver. And oh man, the more we do with this, the more it just sounds like the people who've been saying you can't cover black are just either incompetent artists, lazy artists, or ignorant. Because there's no rules anymore. In fact, in 3 weeks from now, we should have been onto the chest in 3 weeks, but we got talking and people are gonna be like, oh man, Remy, you keep putting the chest off, just get to it already. There'll be time for that because we've decided that we're gonna do some purple and blue highlights. We're gonna try purple and blue for the first time over top of the pattern here. Rick thinks it'll be cool to, I had said to him, I want to try some blue. And he said, yeah, I was thinking of putting some purple and blue in the highlight of the eye, make it look more like fly eye. I was like, yeah, man, I'm down. Like, I'm down for any kind of insanity. Let's try it all. So, yeah, this is going to get yet another facelift soon. There's going to be purple and blue in here. And I think I know what it's going to look like already, so I'm not too worried about it. Well, I got the camera down like this. I will show off all those highlights of healed. So they look the same as they did when they went in. All of this stuff is a little bit brighter in tone than this. You can even see from here. So eventually, probably around when we're working on the chest, we'll probably need some time. Well, this is healing when we start. We're going to go back into the spider eyes, which are about a year healed now with no dropout, no fading. These are as crisp as they were when they were healed, just like I said they'd be. So no, the white hasn't faded at all. Anyway, we're going to go back in and do another round with everything Rick has learned about saturating in these areas. And we're going to brighten up the white. So again, this black will look darker and the red will look brighter too, because it's all about contrast and clarity. Anyway, we're going to do that. That'll probably be within a month and a half or so. So you can look forward to the spider eye standing out more. So, again, the immediate plans. We have 3 sessions to go, it looks like, before we start on the chest. I'm going to include a little napkin drawing I did to describe what the eye would look like to someone. Again, I can't draw, but I have great vision for how things will be. And it's a silly drawing, but then again, this chest piece was a silly drawing that I did too. And so was the eye. All of my big pieces were things that I drew out. They look like children's drawings. Rick has always said to me, that's a great idea, but it's a terrible drawing. So I can't draw, but I have vision for these things. That's the long story short on that. Anyway, I'll include that napkin drawing here, and people who see it will probably have some understanding of what the chest piece is going to be. And I've been keeping it a little bit, like I've been showing the inspiration for it, but I've been keeping it close to the guard because I don't really want people to see the picture until it's there. I'm always one to under promise, over deliver, just kind of show up with the results. But I'll give a sneak peek. People can have a laugh at my terrible ability to draw, and let me know what they think of that design. I'm gonna do this anyway, but I figured I'd show it off. So yeah, everything's healing really well. Again, like I said, this eye is gonna peel soon, and the color will mellow out a little bit, but it will remain very bright. And that's good because the eye and the new chest piece are going to be the focal points of this suit. Again, the chest piece is going to complete the monster that I'm working on. It'll be going up over my shoulders. As I've said before, the new sleeves will work with my chest piece, not the other way around. I won't be building from my sleeves to my chest. I'll be building from my chest to my sleeves, and it will be kind of attached. So anyway, I'm not going to ramble too much more. I'll show off the eye one more time. So there it is in all its glory with yet another new design. And it will have another new design in just a few weeks. So as I've said in the video, the meaning of my eye tattoo, if anyone hasn't watched that one yet, this eye tattoo will keep evolving and changing as I do. I never plan on I never plan to be done working on it, ever. No matter what I'm doing to the rest of my body, I'll always keep this thing up to date and changing. And it's just going to be the constant companion of my bodysuit. And whatever it looks like, it will always have a different face itself. All right, I'll talk to you guys again soon. Have a great day.